All right, so welcome to this masterclass on the law of attraction and on manifestation. So we are getting started. We're going to get started. So if you're here live with me, I'm super excited that you're here. There's a chat box if you haven't found it already. It's on the top of your screen, the bottom of your screen. That's how we can interact. This is how we can make this into an interactive process. If you are not here live, welcome anyway. So excited that you're here also. I'm including you in the vibration here. So you can just write notes for yourself, make this interactive. So one last, okay, perfect. So you're going to get going. So are you in the right place? So you're in the right place if you want to be your best self. So manifestation and the law of attraction is one of the ways that energy behaves that really allows us to get into our best self. And I'll describe exactly how that is later. But if you want to be your best self, you're in the right place. If you want to create a life that feels like a work of art, that feels like creative expression of who you are, this is a masterclass for you. We're going to look at how you're already doing that and how to become more intentional about that. You're also in the right place if the law of attraction maybe confuses you a little bit, or you've tried manifesting in the past, but you feel you could need a little nudge or you could need a little help. This would be a good place to be for you. And finally, if you are a Reiki practitioner, becoming a Reiki practitioner, or do any kind of energy work or counseling, you have this intuition that the understanding the law of attraction is really central. Why people come to energy work, and you want to help your clients better. So I'm doing a little happy dance that you're here, that you're investing your time, your energy, maybe even your money into this masterclass, and we're going to get going together. So how to get the most of it? You've been on my master classes before. This is familiar. So I'm going to ask you to create some boundaries around your time here that we have together. So turn notifications off, maybe close Facebook, turn your phone maybe on airplane mode or off. And then declare what you'd like to receive. So you are making an investment here, and I honor that. And you deserve that investment makes some returns. So it always helps to declare what you would like to receive. What is it that you would like your return on investment to be? And your time is completely an investment. So let's not minimize that. And thirdly, to get the most out of this masterclass, engage. We've got a chat box. I've always absolutely loved when we work together. It's a lot more dynamic. And also, you get more out of this if you take notes and you participate. All right. So what are we doing today? First, we're going to define some terms. So what is manifestation? What is the law of attraction? And we're going to dig deep into the 3 steps for manifesting anything. And this really works for anything. So the 3 steps are really to ask for what you want, become the person who receives that, and to receive. So very simple, but we're going to really dig into each one of them. I'm going to provide you with a ton of tools, tons of exercises, so that we can really get into the vibration of this. So, and at the end of this, I'm gonna have an invitation for you for a month of this good stuff, because manifestation and the law of attraction is fantastic to know about. It's so important to understand how it works, which is the intention of this masterclass. But it's even more juicy and awesome when we start applying that, and we start really doing the exercise. And especially when we do it on a daily basis and we create some momentum, we create some incredible manifestations because we have that power. So if you stay at the end till the end and you decide to sign up for that month, there's going to be some bonuses for you. Another very important aspect of what we're doing today is I would like us to bring some peace and equanimity to this topic. Manifestation is often riddled with high highs and sometimes low lows, and it actually starts working best for us when we can keep a stable vibration in between, like something that is peaceful, equanimous, that we understand how this process works. We understand that contrast is part of it, quote unquote, problems are part of it. And if we can meet all of that in peace and equanimity, I always have trouble saying that word, equanimity, then we're in good. So for those of you who know me, you already know these things, but for those of you who don't, maybe it would be helpful for you to know a little bit about who I am. So I'm an energy therapist since 2013. So that means I've really helped people very much on this law of attraction and manifestation. People often come to me saying, like, I'm noticing this pattern, I'm keep manifesting the same kind of relationship, or I notice I'm really blocked manifesting good pay for my work, that kind of thing. So my job as an energy therapist is to kind of translate back into energy terms what that means, help them shift the vibration, and then that shifts the result in their life. It's fantastic work. I absolutely love it. I also teach Reiki. It's where we dive deep into what it means that we are energy beings, and what we can do with that. And I'm going to claim this publicly today. I am a miraculous manifester. I've manifested a ton of things throughout my life. I discovered very, very early on this secret, this law of attraction, even before the secret came out, that book. Who remembers that one? Just pop it in the chat box. And for a lot of people, that's how they discovered the law of attraction. It helped it become way more mainstream. So yes, Jennifer says yes. Okay. So I found this definition of manifestation really quite helpful. I've been looking into the work of Catherine Zenkina, who calls herself Manifestation Babe. And she made this very grounded definition I appreciate. So the definition is manifestation, the phenomenon that occurs when something that was originally a part of your imagination becomes actualized into your physical reality. So something that imagination comes into actual reality. And so there's a whole lot of vibration density that needs to come through for that to happen. We're going to look at that. And so there you have it. How does that definition land with you? So as you write down your comments there, I want to tell you a few of my manifestation stories, and not to prove the point that I'm a miraculous manifester, although I am, and I know this. These are really to sort of show different facets of what manifestation is, and that these are possible for you too. And I am willing to bet that you've actually manifested a lot more than you think. So this first picture here is the Netherlands. And the story there is when I was about 13 years old in Seksu, I really wanted to go to the Netherlands. That's where my family's from. I was born there. And I loved our family vacations there. We'd go in the summer sometimes. And when I was 13 and in secondary too, I had it in my head that I really wanted to go. So I kept bugging my parents, but more than that, what I started doing is I started just acting as if it was happening. So I think I started I had this guitar, I knew to do 2 or 3 chords, and I started making up these songs, I'm going to the Netherlands in Dutch. And I just got into this vibration of this is happening, and I don't really care about what my parents think or if this is actually possible. There was no question of how in my mind. I mean, I was 13 years old. And what happened is that my parents decided, okay, yeah, you are going to the Netherlands. You know this. This is a force to be reckoned with. Of course you're going. We don't have a choice. So they sent my sister and I to the Netherlands for maybe 3 weeks to visit family, just on our own. And they didn't even come with us. And it was amazing. And my dad said, yes, you're going to the Netherlands because of your fantastic positive attitude. And so at 13 years old, I realized that there was power in this manifestation, getting into this really high vibe place and just deciding that something was happening. So if you can imagine me at 13 with a guitar singing songs, that's for me the picture of the energy we need to get into sometimes to manifest these things. The picture below is the actual place where I manifested 2 years of free courses, where I did my degree in energy medicine. This one, I really believe that life just decided that this is where I needed to be. And it gave me a job there, and it gave me 2 years of free classes. Then the picture to the right is me getting married this summer. That was a big manifestation too. That was at a moment of when I was writing my dating profile and online website, because that's where we met. I wrote, I got really specific and also cryptic in what I was searching for. I got really tapped in to the feeling of who I wanted this person to be, that I wanted to spend my life with. And, oh, somebody's unmuted, and hold on, let me just fix that real quick, because there's music in the background. I don't know how to do that. So, okay. All right. So I got really into the feeling of it, and he responded at a time nobody else was responding, and he was it. And that was 8 years ago. So kind of things that can happen. And then finally, below right is Chiang Mai. This was not a time somebody else did something for me, but really I had this idea in my head. I want to go to Chiang Mai, Thailand for 2 months, and I made that happen. So those are just a few of my stories, and I actually am way more interested in your story. So I'd love to hear if you pop up in the chat. What are some things that you've manifested? Some things that you have made real from your imagination to reality? I would love to hear those in the chat box. And then I'm just going to mute. There we go. Owning a longboard. That's fantastic. I love that. That's so cool. Yeah, next step is writing it. Cool. That's a fun manifestation to make that happen too. Cool. I'd love to see what else is. What else have you manifested? So as for what the law of attraction is, everything is energy. It really applies to everything. So the longboard is energy, riding the longboard is energy, getting a master's of psychology is energy. Nice, Jennifer. That's a nice one to manifest. And then also things like the things that we typically really, really want, like health and wellness, that has its own kind of energy too. And so that's an important one we can start manifesting. Our health, relationships are a type of energy. So those are really good to work on in a manifesting way. Money and abundance is energy. Those are really good. Money really responds to a manifestation, to the law of attraction. And then there's things like trips, like my example of Thailand, friendships, Teslas, whatever it might be. Those are all, they can all be manifestations They are all energy. So the law of attraction really applies to all the things. So I would really, so about this law of attraction, really the big idea is that like attracts like. So really that means that vibrations that are similar will clump together, attract each other. So thoughts and emotions and beliefs and things and people and Tesla, they all attract each other when they're on a similar frequency, similar vibration. That's really what law of attraction means. So to make a really simple example, the feeling of like the thought of I am worthy will clump together with the sensations in your body of worthiness, and they will clump together with that belief of I am worthy, the thoughts of like I deserve this, I can receive this, there's no problem, I can apply my efforts here and receive what I'm choosing to receive. And then that vibration actually attracts some things. So you receive some beautiful earrings for your birthday and you allow that in. You receive people who are vibing on that similar level. So I just chose an example that's quite positive, but it does work on the other way as well. So it's really that similarity comes together. The law of attraction is not the only law of how energy behaves, but it is a law of how energy behaves. It's kind of like gravity. There's nothing personal to it. It just is a law. It's just how things work. It's really not the only one, and it's not the only one that is relevant to manifestation either. So I'm going to name a few other ones. There's also the law of oneness, that is basically stating that everything is one. So if you are jealous of somebody else, you're emitting jealousy. But if you're celebrating someone else, you're celebrating and you're emitting celebration, which clumps together with vibrations of receiving, of things that are worthy of celebration. So the law of oneness is included. Law of rhythm is an important one, that things do take time. So for the law of attraction, there's a rhythm, it takes time. Sometimes it's time for ideas, for clarity, for asking. And it's time for you to transform, to do your inner work. And then it's time for you to receive. And it's very rarely instant. It's very rarely thought and then the manifestation. Although it does happen. It's happened to me many, many times. It's kind of fun when it happens. There's the law of vibration, which really means that everything is vibration. The law of cause and effect, saying that every single moment and every single vibration will have some causes and effects. So it's all part of what we're going to discuss today. We're going to use a very broad view of how to manifest. So let's take a little pause there. I would love to hear, first of all, how that's landing with you. Is that making sense? And even more, what is it that you would like to manifest? Jennifer said getting a master's in psychology. There's often a big 3 that people want to manifest. Maybe it can help for you to get a general idea of which direction you want to go into. So a lot of people want to manifest really great health and wellness. And some people want to, I'm just going to have to, I think I didn't do something properly. I do apologize on that. Hold on. Participants, and all right, here we go. Sorry about that. What would you like to manifest? On which of the levels are you really into? Greater self-respect for myself, non-judgmental relationships. Yeah. And do you see how those are on a similar vibration already? Very cool. Yeah. What else? So relationships is also somewhere else. they're the places where a lot of us have a lot of suffering. So we do want to manifest the opposite. So relationships, like that kind of relationship where we've got respect in it, a lot of tenderness, a lot of love, whatever's there. Financial stability, invest more fully into my healing journey. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Money and financial stability and abundance are definitely big places people do this manifesting work, and it responds. It is so fun. And when you start clicking into what are the beliefs and what are the vibrations that you're emitting that are attracting the current situation. So we've got some financial stability, some relationships with higher vibrations, specifically romantic ones. Yes, really, really good one. Finances, yeah, really good one. And then the next picture I added here was travel. That's often something people want to manifest. Also a good one. So before we dive into the 3 steps, I want to make a little pause here and say, it's when we're doing manifesting work, it's about the manifestation, and it's also really not about the manifestation. Because the goals we set or the outer manifestations that we want, it's about that. It's about the financial abundance so that you can invest more in your healing journey. It's about having the romantic relationship that is frequent at a higher vibration. But it's also about who you become on the way to that. And who you become on the way to that is actually even more important to get the feelings that you're wanting from the manifestation. So I absolutely love to keep my awareness on those 2 levels. So it also helps to kind of have the idea of what you want to manifest in front of you, but then also kind of allow yourself to let that go and also really just let yourself become at the level, become the like that will attract the like of the manifestation. So because often we can get really tense on the manifestation. Like let's say I want to manifest $1,000, but then we manifest only $800 and we're like, oh, it didn't work. And we're still in a lack mentality around money, but really you manifested $800 you wouldn't have had otherwise. So that's a little caution warning. And then there's another word here about unwanted versus wanted manifestation. So with the law, very simple law of attraction, it's kind of irrelevant what's wanted and unwanted. And so it really is irrelevant what's wanted and unwanted until we start taking ownership of the manifestation. And then what we might want to do is start leaning towards the wanted rather than the unwanted. So we're starting to put ourselves on the track of what we want rather than focusing so hard on what we don't. But sometimes we're stuck. We're stuck on focusing on what we don't want. And we're kind of on this train that's like going, this big old momentum train that's focusing on what we don't want. And we're so in it and we're vibrating on that level and it's going and it's going and it's going. So when we're in that sort of state with the train going and going and going, and we want to turn the train around, it might not be the best idea to go and push the train the other way and try to bring up a lot of positive feelings and positive stuff. What you might need to do first is just kind of let the train slow down. So what this means is kind of allowing maybe the negative thoughts to just kind of be there, but you're not giving it so much attention. You're not feeding those thoughts, but you're letting the train of those thoughts, of those beliefs slow down until it's slow enough to start pushing it in the other direction. So that's an important, really important analogy. So maybe if to make this most helpful for you, you can check in. Are you On the train towards what you're wanting, or are you more on the train towards what is unwanted? Which direction is the momentum taking you right now? Without any judgment, this is just how we work. So Jennifer says slowing down, so I'm assuming that's momentum towards the unwanted, but slowing down. Beautiful. So yeah, just check in for yourself. And there's nothing wrong. Like, this whole process is a really beautiful system. Unwanted. Okay, great. So we're going to be transforming some unwanted things into wanted things. Get some clarity from here, because sometimes when we are going towards the unwanted, we need to do that sometimes to get really clear on the wanted, so that we can let the train slow down and push it in the new direction of what we really, really, really want. So in the manifestation world, sometimes that's been calling contrast. So slowing down for a while now, I feel like soon the train will be ready to pick up speed in a wanted direction. Oh, yeah, I'm excited for you, Dahlia. That's fantastic. All right. Yeah. So let's go into our 3 steps. The 3 steps are quite simple. And they are a little bit more difficult to apply. But again, the aim here is to bring a lot of compassion to ourselves, a lot of equanimity with it, not judging ourselves for being on one train versus the other. It all works together. So the first step to manifesting is getting clear on what do you want? What is the wanted direction? And very, very often what's difficult with manifesting is that we don't really know. We don't really know what the wanted direction is. And so this step is a really important one. And we're going to unpack each of them, and we're going to do some exercises. And then once we're clear on what the wanted direction is, so Tony Robbins actually has this really good analogy. If you're apparently, if you're driving around a race car track, non-relatable example for me personally, but that's okay. The car will always go in the direction you're looking at. So you always need to kind of look at the next bend. But if you see a tree in front of you and you're like, oh no, I don't want to go to the tree, and you're looking at the tree, you will absolutely hit the tree. So asking is really important so that you keep yourself in the direction you're wanting to go. The more clarity you have there, the more you can go into the wanted direction. The second step, once you've asked, is you become the vibration that will attract the vibration of what you'd like to receive. And you trust that process. So you become, I'll say that again, you become the vibration that is like the vibration of what you're wanting to attract in your life. So you, in other words, you really become the person that will be able to receive what you're wanting. So if you're wanting a high vibe relationship, who do you need to be in a high vibe relationship? Do you need to become a little bit more clear in your communication? Do you need to just generally feel good in yourself? That kind of thing. So who do you need to become so you can attract that same match? And then the third step, receive. Sounds very simple. So you receive the manifestation. And this is a very iterative 3-step process. They keep changing and looping back. So let's go into the asking. So very simply, you get clear on what you want. So I'd love to do an exercise with you, and while we do that, I'll have a sip of water. If the universe, and we'll say the universe here, but if you prefer substituting the universe with source or God or anything to that effect, please do. That's totally fine. If the universe handed a full menu of everythingness, all the experiences, all the manifestations over to you. What would you pick? Because it really is that simple. You can ask for anything. Whether you can become the vibration that matches that quickly or not quickly is a different question, but you can ask. You can set the direction anyway. And here's the thing. This is not like actually a restaurant. You can ask for a lot of things. You can ask for small things. You can ask for big things. You don't all have to eat them. So I'll put that over to you. Is there anything else that you would like to ask for? I already saw a bunch of your asks. See if there's anything else that you want to type into the chat box. And as you do that, just want to say that this is really an iterative process. So what that means is that this gets to evolve. You change, your wants change. Your life change, the direction you want to take your life in changes. And that is part of the system. You don't need to, so you can ask for something today and then change your mind tomorrow. Like that is allowed, that is totally fine. Asking just kind of sets a direction. And once you've set that direction, you get to fine tune it. You can get more specific. You can get less specific. You can broaden it. You can precise it. You can take into account what you're already receiving. So you get to send, you get to send your menu item back as many times as you want until it's exactly what you want. So the universe doesn't take that personally. It really doesn't. It's, oh, okay, I think that this is about what you want here. Is this what you want? Almost honest relationship? And you say, thanks, universe. That's almost what I want. But no, I want fully honest relationship. That kind of idea. So receiving not exactly what you want is actually beautifully part of this iterative process. And knowing that, I find for myself, allows some peace and allows some relaxing of all our inner perfectionism. And it's very, very simply every day you get to fine tune. You get to, this is a creation, it flows. So yeah, wanting honest relationships and traveling to Europe and money flowing from everywhere. Oh, I love that. More travel is a deep sense of purpose, fulfillment, and future work, deeper bonds with the people who matter to you. Yes. The new front bumper for my car. Yes, that's exactly it. So there is no limit. You can ask and ask and ask and ask. There's no limit. Except the limits that you put on yourself. So what gets in the way of asking? Because let's be fair, like most of us, or maybe not most of us, I'm not going to make that assumption, but a lot of us say like, oh, I just need this one thing. I just want this little one thing. That's not too much to ask. But actually, there's nothing stopping you from asking for a lot more. So I would love to see in the chat box, what gets in the way of us asking? What gets in the way of this first step? Excuse me, I'm a little thirsty. Feeling unworthy. Yeah, that is pretty much a big one. Yeah, and if we unpack feeling unworthy, if we look at the like attracts like of feeling unworthy, it comes with the thought of like, I don't deserve this. I shouldn't ask for this. And if I ask for this, what are they're going to say? Who do you think you are? And I am not good enough, etc., etc. The whole storm of thoughts and beliefs that I promise you are not true. Right? They're not true. Every single one of us is worthy. Maybe some of us have done some stupid stuff, some stuff that is hard to forgive ourselves for, but it doesn't mean we're unworthy. What else gets in the way? Conditioned belief systems. People telling us that we won't be able to reach our dreams. Yeah, that pretty much covers it. Feeling unworthy and the conditioned beliefs that we have. And yeah, other people too. So there's maybe other things also, like not knowing until you get it, not knowing exactly what it was that you wanted in the first place until you get it. Sometimes being really focused on what we don't want gets in the way of asking what we do want. Sometimes conflicting wants stops us from asking. We're like, oh, I want this thing, but then I think it means I can't have this other thing, so then I'm kind of stuck. So let me make it real example. Let's say, okay, perfect. Yeah, so I really want a beautiful, intimate relationship, but I also really want my freedom. And then somewhere in your system, you have this limiting belief that an intimate relationship means that you have to give it. And so you stopped yourself from asking because you have that limit. So I wonder if that example kind of wakes anything up for you. Anything that you have stopped yourself from wanting because you believe that it will mean giving certain things up. That isn't necessarily true. Yeah, go on. Yeah. Yeah, and your current vibration, like where you are at right now, is going to be also attracting the asks that you can ask. So sometimes we need a little shift in our vibration, maybe just hanging out with somebody who allows themselves to ask a little bit bigger, shift something in our vibration and gives us permission. All right, so this was one of the questions that came in when I asked, what are your questions about manifestation and the law of attraction? Good one. So once we know what we want to ask, how do we communicate these with the universe? So before I answer this more in a very clear three-dimensional way, we are always broadcasting what we want to the universe. The universe knows what we want. The universe is reading our vibration. We are broadcasting our vibration at all hours and all minutes and every second of the day. And the universe is kind of like this super sweet, wonderful Santa Claus. I don't know if that's not a good analogy, but really would like to give us what we want. So to really communicate with the universe, the best is the clearer we get. Doesn't need to be specific per se, but we need to vibrate clearly. We need to be in alignment. Our energy needs to sort of all pulse together with that ask. So let's say again that example of I want an intimate relationship, but I also want my freedom and I can't have both at the time. Your vibration is like fighting on the inside. You gotta have a bit of a fight. But if you do the work of like, oh, maybe I want actually a refinement is I want a relationship where I also feel free in, oh, now the vibration can vibrate in alignment together. And that broadcasting becomes clear for the universe. And the universe is like, oh, okay, no problem. That's what you want. So the more clear we can get in ourselves, the better that asking is. But once it is clear, and even if it's not clear, doing all these things will force you to make them a little bit clearer. So speaking it, giving it words, that makes it clear, that grounds it. Journaling it. One fantastic exercise to do is to pick a word that feels good to you or something you want to manifest. And then you just sort of find all the words that match that vibration. That feels really good. So let's say I decide today the vibration I want to create is joy. So then I make in big letters joy, and then I'll put like words next to it, kind of like a word map, like happy, light, giggly, silly, joyful, yellow, and I'll just like free associate on that word, and that expands that vibration. And that makes it bigger, easier for the universe to read. So that's a good one. If you make a ritual out of it, it also forces more of your being to stand stand behind the ask, forcing you to align behind it, forcing you to clarify it. So you can do things like lighting a candle and doing it on the new moon. You can program it into a crystal. What that means is you set your intention, you make your ask, and you kind of place that into a crystal, and that crystal will then contain that vibration for you and keep reminding you of it. So that's a really nice way. This is really about vibration and communication with the universe. What's cool about crystals, and I can't say I've played with this so much, but a little bit, is that with crystals hold an intention longer than our human bodies do. So if we keep this crystal with us that we programmed with an intention, with an ask, it will keep tuning us back to that vibration, keep reminding us of that intention. So it's a really, really cool one. Affirming it as if it's already happened is a really, really good thing too. So let's take the romantic relationship with freedom. I have a romantic relationship where I feel free and joyful and intimate and juicy and beautiful, and every single day it gets better, that kind of thing. Affirm it, and you get into that. The more of this you do, the better. If you can sort of feel behind what I'm saying here, is that the more you're asking, and the more you're getting into the vibration of your ask, and the more you're aligning yourself with the vibration of the ask, the more you're broadcasting to the universe, and the more easy it is for the universe to give you what you want. So all of this is really a blend of step 1 and step 2. So you're asking, and you're already becoming the vibration that will match it. So even if you do none of those things, the universe does still know. And it reads your vibration. And desire, my friends, is a very powerful vibration. Usually we ask from all over our energy system, but when it's from our sacral chakra, where we really desire this, that is nice and grounded, really powerful. The more you clarify your intention, the more you get clear really on what you want, and you kind of undo those little inner fightings inside of yourself, the more you become the vibration that matches that physical manifestation. Okay, so I'm going to take a little pause there again and just hear from you guys where you're at with that. Does that help? And more specifically, what are the ahas that you got from there? Yes, absolutely. Okay, great. Well, we're going to celebrate those. I'd love to hear also what are the ahas, like what clarified for you, if anything, in the ask. I'm going to take a little sip of my mocha that I'm obsessed with lately. That is so good. Match the vibration of what you want. Yeah, so let's get into that. How wanting may bring limiting beliefs that go against what I want, but tweaking that will help. Yay! Okay, I'm super celebrating because you guys fully understand the magic that comes from this next step now. When we ask something, we activate the vibration of it. And when we activate the vibration of it, we also activate all those little limiting beliefs that are in the back of our brain and all the quote unquote conflicts that are in our vibration. And we need to align that. And we need to become and embody and believe. So yeah, yes, perfect. So it gives me a better understanding of what blocked me in the past. And Claire says maybe a little bit more clarity on how to pivot or adjust when you receive a not quite version of your want. Yes, I'm not sure if that's in my notes, but I will come back to that, Claire. That is important. It has a name, and so it's called pre-manifestation. So I'm going to go on with become, and we're going to come back to it in receive. And if it's not in the notes, please give me a little reminder with, just the word pre-manifestation of pivot. Okay. So step 2, become the person who receives the manifestation. So yeah, I don't know why, but I get so like juiced up and excited around this idea. I guess I love transformation and I love growth. So this is about growing into the person who can receive that. So it's not so much like a magical thing, like I'll think these things and I'll, get into this happy vibe and things will come to me. That is definitely true. But this is also about bringing a little bit more stability and really allowing yourself to shift and change and be the work of art that you want to create. So this is so juicy. So when you become this new version of yourself, it's really helpful to create a vision of them. And it's really, 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 really helpful to know who is this person? Who is this person that matches these vibrations? And more than that, who are they? We want to know, how do they think? What are the thoughts that go through their head? How do they feel? What do they believe? What do they do? So let's use an example here. I'm using this. Yes, okay, so the finances to receive the more finances so that you can take more steps on your journey. So the person, the version of you who already receives those finances, who already has the money to invest in their healing, what is it that they think? Is it that they're thinking, are they thinking, I wonder what will be the perfect next healing thing for me? What do they feel? Do they feel supported? Do they feel calm? Do they feel grounded? And what do they believe? And what do they do? What do they believe? That they are worthy of that money comes easily, that, maybe, but you want to get into that. And here's a really important part. What do they do? What do they do? Because it's really, really tempting when we're talking about manifestation, about law of attraction, is to just stay in the inner stuff. And it's really important, the inner stuff, the think, feel, and believe. Super important. Don't get me wrong. But if you leave it at that level and you never take any action, you're not taking it into the grounded level that is going to really create the grounded manifestation you're looking for. So what are the actions they might take? Do they research different healing programs? Do they get onto calls that are to kind of discover if it's for them or not? Do they, that kind of thing. Do they ask for a raise? So we're talking about the finances here too. Do they ask for a raise? Do they have a different kind of spin with their business? Do they, that kind of thing? What do they do? So in the Intuition Masterclass, if you were there, and if you weren't, it's available for purchase. Just get into touch with me. We did a higher self visualization. So I'm not going to run you through it today because it is a little bit longer. But very essentially what you do is you go meet in a visualization with the version of you that has the thing you want. And you ask them you kind of get to know this, and you ask them for their name, kind of see how they are. And then they can become a guide for you, and you can start asking them just in your own head. It's a very, very, very helpful tool. I find it gets things really clear. So I've been using this, and it's like the most absurd thing ever. But I've been using this for my workouts. I did it last year a lot, and then I forgot, but I got back to it yesterday. And I have a new goal for my workouts. I want my resting heart rate to be at a certain level and to have really good cardio health, because that massively improves my ringette game. I play a sport called ringettes, and I enjoy it so much more, and I feel better, and all of those things. So I asked my higher self that really understands my body and that really has that good cardio heart rate, what I should do in my workout. And it works fantastic. It really gets me into that feeling vibe. And sometimes it's actually like run this speed for this much time, or sometimes it's you need to clear this energy in your right hip. So that sounds crazy, but that's the kind of level of stuff you can start doing, and it's actually really effective. So really in this step 2, becoming, what you're doing is you're bridging the gap between who you are right now and who you will be. And you start thinking like them, feeling like them, acting like them, believing what they believe. So on the thinking like them, one helpful tool is, once you have a vision, once you have a sense of how they think, is in daily life, you watch your thoughts, the ones that don't match, you can just kind of let them go by. Like the momentum train, just let the train slow down. And if you have the possibility, you can also even use thoughts in your daily life. Just give them a different spin. So how would this new version of me look at it? And look at it that way, and reframe. And so this does take a little bit of effort. It takes a little bit of doing, but it's good stuff. The next one, when you become on the emotional level, a daily tool, and this one is super powerful. Like a whole entire book was written on this one very simple question. Let me see if I have it. Yeah. A very simple question of, what would I like to feel? And a way to get there is, if I already had the manifestation, I already achieved the goal, what would I feel? So I'd love to hear, if you're working with one in your head right now, what would you feel if that came true, if that became a 3-dimensional reality and not just an idea in your head? How would you feel? And is that feeling how you would like to feel? The power of this question cannot really be underestimated. Feeling is a really powerful vibrational broadcaster. So free. Yeah. So what you can do on a daily level to move your train in the other direction is keep asking yourself that question. What would I like? So Jennifer says free. Good. Free. Oh, even better. Got more specific there. Free to be me. And so you can see there, this is a good opportunity to see general versus specific, which is an important thing to discuss. I didn't put in the notes. So maybe Jennifer can enlighten us here. And if you're listening, you can use a different example for yourself. So how does free feel? If you feel free, what is that sensation? Is that easy to access? And then you can ask yourself, what can I do to move towards that feeling right now? Move towards feeling free right now. What would you do? So if I'm tuning into that, I just like stretch my shoulders a little bit, and that would feel a little bit more free. But then you got more specific. And so we can explore here, what would I like to feel? So you'd like to feel free to be you. How does that feel in your body? And because you got a little bit more specific, sometimes what happens when we get more specific, we also wake up the resistance a little bit. We wake up the limiting beliefs. We wake up the counter intention to feeling free. So okay, beautiful. So she's saying, like I have no limits. I do not limit myself with self-doubts, limiting beliefs. Others get me. They know my boundaries, accept me for I am. And can you get into that feeling place in your body? Or is it more that you have to struggle with the limiting beliefs, with the self-doubts? You have to swish away the limiting beliefs. You have to make sure other people get you. You have to remember to put your boundaries properly, and you have to remember to accept yourself who you are. Because if it activates all of those other things, it's super helpful information, because that's the level you can work at. That's the level you can really start helping yourself to shift the vibration. So you can identify what the limiting beliefs are, and you can clear those. You can identify what is attaching to others getting you and clear that. But it sounds like you love this feeling and you can access it. So what I'm saying here about the specificity, bringing up maybe more of the resistance, seems to not apply to you in this moment. I celebrate that. So then the specific makes it more juicy, makes it more real, makes it more close to a real, real, real manifestation. It speeds up the momentum of the train. So you want to use it. You want to get as specific as possible, while also not triggering too much resistance. So, yeah, so then what she can look at is what would move her towards that feeling right now. And sometimes it's just remembering it, sometimes it's journaling it out, sometimes it's speaking to somebody in some way, and all of that. So on the daily level, you can. Now, there's also the belief set here that is important to all manifestations, is the trust that it is coming, the trust in this law. And you can start pre-celebrating. You can start knowing that it's coming and celebrate. You can start just having that positive anticipation that it's coming. And that on an emotional level is really, 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 really good to invite more manifestation. This is me with the guitar at 13 years old. On the emotional level, on the daily, to bring your train into the positive momentum, when you feel good, let it in. Let yourself feel good. Let yourself feel good. And this is such an obvious thing, but a lot of us block good feelings. A lot of us block. And so this is a reminder to don't do that. Like, let yourself go to this next level. Let yourself learn through pleasure. Let yourself adapt to this new level. So that's another tool for the emotional level. And when you don't feel good, which is a lot of us some of the time, it's better to not ignore it, but don't stagnate in it either. So when we ignore it and we try to push it to the side, we're just pushing the vibration down, and the universe still reads it. So we haven't transformed it. So you want to transform it. So here's some really, really good tools that help you. One of them is to just move your body, dance it out. Just letting it go by getting in your body, dancing it out. Another really helpful tool that I'm super grateful that I got to learn early on is to do tapping, or EFT. This has been my major tool for manifestation. So I will make a separate video on tapping, showing you how to do it. I am not, I've done level 1 of EFT, which forced me to do it with myself, but I have been doing this for 12 years now for myself, and I do use this very regularly. It's a very, very good tool. What it does is that it kind of helps you voice the negative, the unwanted feeling, while tapping on certain energy points on your body, and that helps the charge go down. And so you can move on much easier. It transforms things quickly. Journaling is also a really good one. Sometimes you can't let things go until you really understand. So journaling them out with some care and some curiosity for yourself is often very, very helpful too. Inner child work is amazing. If you have that tool in your toolkit already, remember to use it. And once you've sort of done a little bit of that transforming, and sometimes just a reframe also helps. It can be very simple. The next step would be to kind of letting the momentum slow down, right? And to start moving the momentum in the other direction again. So really ask yourself, what do you need and care? And then with that, you can start turning towards what you do want again. You just move in the other direction again. How would you like to feel? What do you really want? Start bringing that to mind and start going. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a pause there again. How is that landing? Do those tools, I know I'm just mentioning them, but are there any of those that you are already familiar with and already working with and help you? And is that making sense to not ignore it, but also not to stagnate it and allow it to transition? So in the chat box again, if you journaling, yeah, getting in the body, moving with it, releasing it. Yeah. And for each of us, it's going to be different tools that are really, really helpful. Some people need to really talk it out. I'm not so much a talking it out to some other person. Journaling it out really works for me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Going for a run or moving your body often really helps too. Okay, now the belief level tools when it comes to becoming. So one analogy I've heard about beliefs is that it's like a tabletop, and we have these proofs that are like legs for the tabletop. And proofs are like instances where this belief was true. So when we have a belief like I am not worthy, we might have a bunch of table legs. But what we can start playing with, instead of doing anything with that, we can kind of see if we can create a whole new tabletop for the opposite. So what this new person believes. And that new person might believe I am worthy. And so a really, really, really good tool is find some proof for the new belief. What were moments that you were worthy? And go find those. Create new tabletop for the new belief. And then you can affirm these new beliefs. Like write them, say them, do some tapping while you're saying them. Doing them in the present tense. I am worthy. Every day the universe reflects back to me that I am worthy. That kind of thing. And then if these tools are available to you, or you have somebody that you work with that can help you with this is very helpful also to do deeper energy work, to find where a belief came from and really healing it at the root. So sometimes that means some inner child work. We can send Reiki to the past. So when we do that, we can really shift. We can shift from the beginning, from the origin of it. And create a whole new system. It's deep work. It can be very powerful. So there's a reminder here that underneath thoughts and beliefs and feelings, there is really an energy. And working on that level is so crazy powerful. So sometimes if we don't even think about manifestation, we don't even think about what we want to manifest, but we're doing some energy work. So let's say we work on different chakras and start reorganizing the energy system, we can start manifesting a whole new reality just with that, because they're underlying the thoughts and the feelings and the beliefs. So, on the action level, this is what would my fully manifested self do? That is not practical. But the question is, what would my fully manifested self do? What would the version of me that has it do? And then you take that action. Quite simple. You do it. And this is where we're often met with the most resistance, but it is also where we move through enough of the resistance so that we can really, really, really manifest this freedom. So if we're talking again about wanting a relationship that feels free and that is really like on a high vibe. So what would the version of you that has that already, what would she do? Would she approach dating differently? Would she ask different questions? Would she approach it in a more free, more herself manner? Would she for temporarily stop dating and stop worrying about that? What would she do? And then you go do that. You go do that every single day. What is amazing about this energy level way of approaching these things is that you can take really tiny little next steps that from a rational three-dimensional level don't seem to have anything to do with them, but from an energetic level has everything to do. So I shared the example of how when I was working out yesterday, I started to do some energy work on my right hip, which brought up some family stuff and whatnot. And then it seems completely unrelated, right? But on the energy level, I'm clearing out from my right hip, from my right leg, so that I can run faster. So it is actually related, but my rational three-dimensional self can't see that. So it's trusting that kind of action. And when we do that every single day, we're really aligning this energy thing, energy system that will really attract the manifestation. And this is often the missing piece. I've already said that. It's really often the missing piece. Finally, a global tool. This is a really good one. And it comes from one of the original self-help books, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, is to make a vision statement. So what you do is you write out the new truth as if it's right now. Write out the new you, what's your new reality. You get as specific as you can without triggering any resistance or triggering a tiny bit of resistance, kind of resistance you can handle with the tools that you have. So this might look like, I'm going to use your romantic relationship example again. So I am in a relationship where I feel free and happy and we laugh all the time and we both feel like we can be completely ourselves. We communicate clearly and I'm enjoying it when I see him for twice a week. We're getting more and more intimate, that kind of thing. You really write it out. And you write out also like, I am confident. I am feeling free. I am who you are. And this is magic. And then you read it before going to bed and you read it before getting up. It brings your whole energy system on the same line. A global other tool that is in all my masterclasses, you're going to be sick of hearing me, but daily mindfulness meditation. Really great so that you can be aware enough to transition yourself into the new life or to remember that thoughts aren't necessary. Really, essentially, you're going to want to focus on the wanted and move towards what you want. And give yourself permission to do that. Because really, how it works is that what you focus on, when something unwanted shows up, you want to transform it. Focus on it with less specificity or use it to ask for something new. All right, so this is a little bit your question, Claire, of the pre-manifestation. So when something unwanted shows up or something that's like what you want but not totally fully quite there, you have a few options. You can transform it, so you can really just work on your own feelings about it, let them go. You can see if you can undo how specifically you're focusing on it. So let's say a romantic relationship shows up and you don't feel super free. So first thing is you see if on the inside of yourself you can release that feeling. The next thing you can do is you really just focus on what feels really, really good about this relationship. The free part, maybe see if you can get less specific about it and just very general. And then my favorite part, the really important part, if neither of those really works, you use it to ask for something new. So you say, no, universe, you're almost there, but I really want that free feeling, that free, that he isn't controlling in any way is the most important part. So I'm going to ask you, redo. I'm going to send this one away, and I'm going to ask for somebody who does respect me or respect my freedom or things like that. Does that help, Claire? And it's kind of not in a, and so sometimes to do that, we really need to work on our worthiness. We really need to know that we get to have the manifestation of what we really actually want. We don't have to settle for less, because settling for less is actually the enemy of settling for what we really want. So you can also just really enjoy that relationship for what it's worth while you do your work of becoming the person you really want to be that gets the relationship that you really want. So in my relationship, that is actually what I've done over and over and over and over and over. It's been 8 years that we're together. And every time I get kind of annoyed about something in our relationship, energetically, I'm willing to burn it to the ground, and I transcend and I say, no, I want to be higher. I've been super lucky that my now husband always meets me at that higher level. It's like he wants that too, and he's just waiting for me to do it. So those are a few things on the relationship level. But on the money level, the work level, same thing. This job offer came in. It's like almost good. You can see if you could transform the part that doesn't feel so good. You can kind of unzoom how important it is. Or you can say, no, I'm going to hold out. I'm going to wait for the real thing, the real deal. Okay, again, so we're going to take a little mini pause just to have a breath for me to have my mocha. It's cold. It's not the manifestation. And I would love to hear just how is that section sitting with you? That is a lot of information. So I would love to hear from you. What's coming up? Does that feel doable? That becoming? Does that feel possible? What are you going to try? Now that you know what your ask is, what are you going to try? Which one of the tools that I've mentioned are you going to put into action? So as you type in, I'm going to go to the third step, which is a really, really, really fun step. Receive. So it's a lot of info, but she feels like she's equipped with money. Yeah, you don't have to do all of them at once. So receiving. Really, you can take one takeaway here is what you focus on expands. And the more you focus on the vibration of receiving, the more you receive. So in the chat box, what is the vibration of receiving? What goes with receiving? What feelings go with receiving? I want you to type them in before I click on the next one. You take a moment in your body. What does it feel like when you receive? Does it come with gratitude? Does it come with celebration? Does it come with joy? Does it come with excitement? Does it come with happiness? to come with appreciation. For me, yes. For you, maybe something else. So receiving matches those vibrations. Remember, like attracts like. And so the more you can get into those vibrations of gratitude, appreciation, and celebration, the more you are ready for the receiving aspect of manifestation. So once you've clarified, you have undone the misalignments in your system, then it's time to step into this very gentle, wonderful, exciting, happy vibration of receiving. So there's a lot of things you can do. And this really can be done daily, no matter what you're wanting to manifest, no matter where you're at in the becoming part of the manifestation. The more you get into this vibration, the more you do receive, the more that expands. So the more you find things to be grateful for daily, the more things there are to be grateful daily. The more you appreciate daily, the more there are things to appreciate. The more you celebrate daily, the more there are things to celebrate daily. Is that making sense to you? And this will allow more and more and more and more and more. So for this receiving part, if you imagine that you're bouncing from house to house to house to house to house, and a package is trying to get to you, but the package doesn't have your address, doesn't have your current address, it's really hard to manifest the package. A little bit like for the universe too. So the gratitude and appreciation is really important, but there's also a groundedness. If you were saying to the universe in a sort of stable, open-handed, I am here and ready to receive. I am home and ready for your package to arrive. So I'm going to maybe let us sit with that for a moment. How does that feel? That idea of like a stable, even opening your hands, literally. I find that is an amazing manifestation. And telling the universe in your vibration, I'm here, ready to receive. I'm here and ready to receive. How does that feel to you? So if you want to join me, we can just feel our weight on the chair. Turn our hands up. And sort of gratefully and trustingly vibing towards the universe that you are ready to receive. And here's the beauty of it. If you don't know what you asked for, you're going to remember. Ready to receive. So Dahlia noticed an old pattern of fear rise inside kind of automatically, but it was replaced right away with a peaceful thinking. Oh, you can hold out your hands. Yeah, that's exactly the vibrational shift that we need to do. Automatic fear, but remembering that it's actually fully okay. It's safe to receive. Safe to ask, it's safe to receive. So the universe needs to know that if it puts it in your hands, you'll actually receive it too. So for any kind of manifestation, Claire said it earlier, believing that you are worthy is super, ultra, mega important. You are worthy. You are worthy, and it's also important to keep a certain stability in your vibration so that the universe knows you don't buckle under receiving. So a little bit of stability. So if you forget about the 3 steps and you really only focus on the 3rd step, that's fantastic also, because you've asked for things in the past. And often it's kind of like they're all jammed up because the universe is trying to give us all these things we've asked for, but we haven't been grounded enough and available enough to receive. So sometimes that's the only thing that's necessary, just saying, yeah, and receive. And then it stops being jammed up and you just receive. You receive all these things you've asked for. Yeah, that's a pretty important one. Now, what's really a very amazing phrase for when it comes to manifestation, the receiving, is this idea that this is the new normal. And this is the new normal. If you feel into the vibration of that phrase, this is the new normal, it's kind of like it's not a big deal, right? When we're asking, we're still like, ooh, it's a big deal. Oh my God. We kind of believe it's not possible. And then we have to move along into this new sort of belief work, this new shifting our vibration work. And then we get into this receive of this is the new normal. And when we're at that level of this is the new normal, like, of course this is happening. Of course this is coming in. That's usually when the manifestations come in. So sometimes they feel super exciting, but often they actually feel really normal. And that's a good sign. I don't know if anybody's experienced that before. Yeah, so that is sort of concluding our journey with these 3 steps. And I am grateful. I'm so grateful for those of you who showed up, whether for the whole time or for parts of the time here. Man, it's really amazing to be able to share these things with you. And I would absolutely love to put these laws in action with you. And here we've explored sort of very general levels of it, but I would like to explore especially manifesting money and financial. So if that's something that's interesting to you, please stay in touch. We will get that started in November. It's very exciting. It's probably going to be a free challenge at first for that, and I'm going to get into that. But I want to just finish here with this is the new normal. So what you're asking for is going to be your new normal. So if you want to go deeper in any of this, there's one-on-one healing, always a possibility. I absolutely love working with my clients on clearing out the energy so that they can be the new vibration that attracts what they want. So really all step 2, a lot of step 2. I just mentioned the money manifestation month, and that's going to be coming up. I'm going to declare it as a new normal. And if you want to go deeper, I mentioned sort of how important grounding is as a masterclass. Higher self meditation, it's in the intuition masterclass. If you want to do more on the energy healing side, the chakras masterclass is coming up. That's a really good one too. There's a video in my group, the Healing Revolution Community, that talks about why the chakras are relevant to manifestation. So I invite you to that too. And then there's extra resources. So I really love Abraham Hicks on YouTube. There's everything. There's so many there. And just listening to Abraham gets you into that high vibe, receiving, there's no problem kind of mode. It's really quite something. I've been, to prepare for this masterclass, I've been looking at manifestationbabe.com. Catherine Zankina has a lot of really good resources. Of course, there's the secret that a lot of you have. One for wealth specifically that really yielded some amazing results for me was Tapping into Wealth by Margaret Lynch. And then for the chakras, there's this book called Creating on Purpose by Anodea Judith and Lion Goodman, which takes you through manifestation through the chakras, which is very interesting. I'm going to be fully honest with you. I just read the first part, got the idea, left it. But it was interesting. So that is truly it for today. I am, again, super grateful for you. I'm super happy to hear, Dahlia, that you are appreciating this energy masterclasses and that Sophie says my new normal. Oh my God, that's going to take your already fantastic manifestation to the next amazing level. I can see that because it creates that sort of normal groundedness. So I stop it there. Thank you all for being here, and we'll be in touch really soon. If you want to hear more about the money manifestation, please send me an email at info@reikimontreal.org. But I assume that all of you are on my email list, so you will receive it anyhow. Okay, have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Thank you for spending some time with me.